Hi. Did you know that Overwatch, one of the best-selling games in history of mankind, has a boatload, an ocean, an entire nuclear arsenal's worth of spicy, steamy, lubricated Rule 34 artworks, an amount so massive it even got a full-blown Wikipedia page? It is, no doubt in large part due to the amount of gorgeous women dressed in skin-tight clothing. Hello again. This is the narrator you didn't know you wanted and needed in your life, Perverted Seb. And today I will be continuing my journey through the texts of Overwatch and animations meant for consumption of individuals over the age of consent. A Wikipedia page that has a lot of interesting things on offer. By the way, link to the part 1 will be in the description. Just FYI. Commenting upon the licentious content available on the internet, Ayof Wilson of Eurogamer said that some of the videos are of surprisingly high quality, though she criticized that female characters were commonly portrayed in a submissive manner, unless they are depicted with a massive rod. Grayson stated that most of the Overwatch entertainment meant for big boys and girls is bad, featuring unsettlingly rigid movements and amateurish camera angles. However, he also described good content as legitimately arousing. Grayson also noted that there exists a lot of comedy in the Overwatch scene for big boys and girls, with people creating humorous videos or writing silly descriptions. In 2019, Gray also commented on how Overwatch adult content focus on women rather than men, but praised the quality of these animations, claiming, sure, the breasts might be overly jiggly and some of the gasps of pleasure are a little too close to sobs, but the animation is amazing. Subtle movements of flesh and hair, detailed fabric simulations, lifelike surfaces, realistic lighting. Gray, however, was also critical of the culture surrounding the creators of such content, writing that the genre has a lot of the same issues as the explicitly graphic intercourse industry as a whole. Also, if you like what you hear, you can also smash the like button and maybe stuff the subscribe button's orifices with your meat. I'll be thankful. She elaborated that it's clear that people making these videos are into very specific, predominantly white and almost always skinny version of women, citing changes made to some characters such as Farah and Brigitte being portrayed as whiter and slimmer respectively than in-game, as well as an underrepresentation of others. Sasha Kikes, an animator in the Overwatch adult stuff scene, also criticized the lack of diversity in such content, but was unsure if it's artists or consumers to blame. Erotica. Both Inverse and Kotaku suggested that the majority of Overwatch's source filmmaker genitalia mashing community consists of straight men.
No shit!
What a bloody surprise! However, both websites noted that the users on Tumblr and various fanfiction websites produce large amounts of romantic erotica. These communities consist in large part of women and LGBT people more interested in emphasizing the existing bonds of the characters. James Greby of Inverse called Tumblr perhaps ground zero for extremely good fan art, heartwarming comics, and other steamy user-generated Overwatch content. Tumblr described Overwatch as rife for shipping due to its 20 unique characters. In May 2017, the website sifted through its data in order to determine which character pairings was the most popular on Tumblr, revealing that Cassidy, formerly called McCree, and Hanzo were shipped 35% of the time. I am recording this, am I? Bloody good, Agos. I get paranoid every once in a while. Overwatch became a subject of a very steamy parody created by a website that starts with bra, ends with ers, and has 2 Z's in the middle in September 2016, titled Oversnatch XXX Parody. The video features Danny D as Reaper and Alita Ocean as Widowmaker. The parody presents a grudge match between the two characters in an abandoned strip club. Oversnatch was the first time a site that can be spelled as BRAZZERS produced a parody of a video game, but they went on to do more afterwards. After producing several mock magazine covers that have a boy and play in them, staff of the website overpog.com decided to create an Overwatch-themed boy play style magazine under the title Playwatch. This magazine does not include any of the sexy skin being exposed in the right places, some of the images being cropped or edited in order to remove genitalia and secondary sexual characteristics where it otherwise would be. The magazine also features fictitious articles and interviews with Overwatch characters as well as real-life cosplay. Overpog completed the first issue of Playwatch in November, and it drew a large audience from Reddit. Overpog told PvP Live that the incredibly arousing images in Playwatch were intended to titillate and impress with artistic intent rather than overtly sexual, and that the magazine was first and foremost a parody of The Famous Magazine. In February 2017, Playwatch was shut down through a cease and desist order issued by a copyright firm hired by Blizzard Entertainment, because of course, Blizzard Entertainment has to axe everything we love. In 2017, cosplay artist Stella Chu started a group effort of Overwatch cosplay that would definitely make Santa's naughty list under the banner Underwatch. Chu drew up cosplay designs of each Overwatch hero and got to work with a group in order to present the work at KatsuCon 2017. This cosplay meetup was highly successful, drawing a large crowd of thirsty, horny teenagers, I bet, and the group was asked to leave or cover up by KatsuCon staff about an hour in, at which point they moved to a suite in the local MGM Grand for a photo shoot. Chu told Kotaku that many of the cosplayers approached her afterwards to express how confident the event made them feel. Cosplay company Bedoink VR that makes content for individuals capable of giving consent planned to release multiple virtual reality projects based on Overwatch in 2017. Producer Denora Hernandez stated that in Overwatch, people get attached to the characters as they play them, and the way they're designed amplifies that intimate reproductive attraction. When asked about the content to which many individuals polish their meat pipes with, lead designer Jeff Kaplan stated that as someone who is creatively responsible for the franchise, he is concerned and hopes people realize many children play the game despite T rating. Regardless, Kaplan stated, "Nobody's trying to step on anybody's freedom of speech or any of that. Like, totally love people's creative expression." As Overwatch content to which people splash their genetic material to primarily makes use of official character models with added reproductive organs, various takedown notices have been issued to creators of such content. These notices have been issued by a security firm, Irdetto, which, according to news outlets, may have been hired by Blizzard to clean up unwanted fan content. Who would have imagined Blizzard doing such a scummy and heartless thing? Blizzard itself has not yet commented upon the large Overwatch wank material scene. After one creator posted a screenshot of such a takedown notice on a Reddit message board, other creators started to come up together in order to pressure Blizzard to stop. A prolific video game naughty material developer Studio Foul, great lads, stated that it would not create Overwatch good stuff after the studio got a cease and desist order from Blizzard in 2015 for their World of Warcraft related projects. Writing in a blog post, the studio stated that it's not a process I'm happy to repeat because I have better things to do than argue semantics all day with jumped up tiny hypocrite attorneys. There are more important things in life, such as looking out for my team and feeding families. Both Jim Sterling and VentureBeat's Jeff Grubb described abundance of fan works of orifice plugging or otherwise as a good sign for the game's longevity. The influx of stuff related to Pokemon characters just going at each other shortly after the release of Pokemon Go was compared to that of Overwatch. Damn, that was actually quite a shorty. I expected a bit more. Well, there's always the first part, doubt any one of you will see it, but hey, I tried, I'm having fun with this. This is something my own and I'm frankly loving it. Anyways, have a happy new year. May 2023 bring you joy, prosperity, and luck. Well, chances are most of you won't be actually listening to this, so this is more like me speaking to myself. Have a good day, everyone.